Have you ever wondered why Germany, one of the world's strongest economies, is being referred to as the sick man of Europe for the second time? Well, the diagnosis is a bit more complex than it may seem. The country's weak economic growth and declining GDP forecast may leave some scratching their heads, especially when considering Germany's heavyweight status on the global economic stage. The puzzle pieces of this conundrum are scattered across Germany's business model. Picture an export-oriented economy, heavily leaning on manufacturing, with a particular emphasis on the automotive sector. This model, once a powerhouse, is now facing significant challenges. One of these challenges is the rising wave of protectionism, making international trade more difficult. Another is a lack of domestic demand, which can put a strain on an export-focused economy. According to the latest forecast from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Germany is the only country apart from Argentina whose gross domestic product will decline in 2023. So, when we take a closer look, the root of Germany's economic ailments is not as simple as high energy prices caused by the war in Ukraine, but a complex web of factors. Let's delve deeper into the factors contributing to Germany's economic underperformance. One of the areas where Germany notably lags behind is in digital platforms and high-tech research. In an era where technology drives progress, this is a significant setback. It's like trying to win a race with a horse and carriage, while others are zooming ahead in electric cars. But it's not just about being technically behind. The country's economic debate is dominated by a belief in the virtues of the market. This might sound good on paper, but it's like trying to navigate a stormy sea with an old compass. The belief in market virtues limits the ability to address challenges and adapt to the changing economic landscape. Now let's talk about the debt brake. This policy requires balanced budgets and limits public debt, which sounds like a responsible approach, right? But imagine you're trying to build a house and you're not allowed to borrow any tools or buy any new ones. You're stuck trying to put up walls with just your bare hands. This is what the debt brake does to Germany. It restricts fiscal room for maneuver and hinders investment in crucial areas such as social housing and research. Additionally, Germany's business model, heavily reliant on an export-oriented economy with a strong focus on manufacturing, particularly in the automotive sector, is facing challenges. Rising protectionism and a lack of domestic demand are impacting the economy. It's like having a product that fewer and fewer people want to buy, while at the same time your potential buyers are building walls around their markets. Clearly, Germany's economic decline cannot be pinned on a single factor, but a combination of outdated practices, restrictive policies, and a lack of innovation. The lifestyle change requires a new way of thinking. Instead of an often unconditional trust in market forces, a more nuanced view is needed. So, what does Germany need to do to shake off the label of sick man of Europe? Firstly, the nation needs to embrace a comprehensive transformation. The medicine is public debt deployed as an engine of growth. This needs to be done not by reducing taxes and accompanying transfers, but by increasing public investment to stimulate domestic demand and the emergence and deployment of new technologies. You address the foundational issues, replace outdated systems, and modernize it to meet current standards. That's what Germany needs to do with its economy. This transformation must also come with a new economic paradigm. This means shifting the focus from an export-oriented economy to one that also caters to domestic demand. It's like a restaurant that only caters to tourists. Sure, they might do well during the tourist season, but what happens when the tourists go home? They need to also appeal to the locals to ensure a steady stream of business all year round. Investing in research and innovation is another key ingredient in this recipe for recovery. Think of it as sowing seeds for the future. It might not yield immediate results, but given time and the right conditions, it can result in a bountiful harvest. By investing in research and innovation, Germany can potentially lead the charge in high-tech sectors, thereby creating new avenues for economic growth. Similarly, social housing is another area that needs attention. By investing in social housing, not only can Germany address a pressing social issue, it can also stimulate domestic demand in the construction sector. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Lastly, it's important to remember that these changes won't happen overnight. It's a long road to recovery, much like a marathon, not a sprint. But with the right strategies and steadfast determination, Germany can shake off its current economic woes. Indeed, for Germany to regain its economic health, it needs more than just a quick fix. It requires a complete overhaul of its economic model.